You don't have anything really open for signups in your section.
You need to ask me. They'll get something for you.
Well, there goes Thanksgiving at the Guardino house.
But remember, you gotta keep it under so many words.
There's a lot of presupposed.
Welcome to the November 21st, 2022, 23 actually, meeting of the Oakland Mayor and Council meeting. At this time, I read the statement of compliance. This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Law, duly announced, advertised, and posted in the municipal building. The meeting will adjourn no later than 10 p.m. unless a majority of the council members that are present vote to extend the time. At this time, I ask you to look at your phone. Last time I missed it, I turned mine off. Please put it on mute. And stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Be seated. Roll call.
Mayor Schwager,
Here.
Councilman Kamala.
Here.
McCann. Pignatelli.
Here.
Saliani.
Here.
Slasinski.
Here.
Talamini.
Here.
Motion to excuse Councilman McCann.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? At this time, my mayor's report. I have some exciting news. Bids were received and opened for Patriots Way Bridge, and we have our engineer here who will back me up later on to talk about it. But the exciting news about the Patriots Way Bridge is that the bids, I think all of them, came in lower than the original estimated costs, meaning that the grants I obtained from DOT and the community affairs grants we received, the bridge will be fully funded by grant money and not at taxpayer expense. So that's very exciting. And hopefully at the next council meeting, the contract will be awarded. Well, they have to do investigation on the low bids. As far as the water goes, the PFOA, PFAS treatments, as I repeatedly told you all that the schedule for treatment should be completed by February. Again, our engineer is here and he'll confirm. We shall be in full treatment by February of 2024. And well 5, the units can be seen. The treatment units have arrived and being installed. You can view them. You can go look at them. The drone was the engineer drone, showed us pictures of it. Well 5 units can be seen in the rec field if you're interested. The well 9 is off Brereton Road. That was already previously delivered. And today, well 10 units, you can look at them at Spruce Street. So comes February 2020, I can't even say the years, 2024, it should all be back in good order. December 13th at 7 p.m. at the Senior Center is the sewer utility meeting for the sewer utility customers. Letters were sent out today to all sewer utility customers, so please mark your calendar. It's going to be in the Senior Center on December 13th at 7 p.m. As far as the Class B recycling facility, you could still sign the petition. There's time. You could still send in your letters. I have the petition sitting in my office. I have some signs if you're interested. There's still some signs left. Please don't dump in Oakland. You're welcome to come to my office and pick up a sign. And please sign the petition. And if you have not written a letter yet opposing the facility, we hope you will do so. And on December 3rd, I'm sure from public events, and I'm sure Councilman Talamini will talk about it, is the annual Christmas holiday tree and menorah lighting at Veterans Park. It's Sunday, December 3rd at 5 p.m. Something very special this year is at that time we're honoring our junior football team who won the Super Bowl, and together with the cheerleaders, they will be honored. We usually do it at a council meeting, but there were so many that we thought it would not be able to accommodate everybody here. So come to the tree and menorah lighting on December 3rd, Sunday evening at 5 p.m. for the lighting, the honoring of the students, the young boys and girls. And then at 5:15, that's cutting it close, but sometime after 5:15, will be the parade of lights that we started. I had asked a volunteer last year to come up with this, and that was Danny DeLeo. So thank you, Danny, because I hear this year it's going to be a little bit bigger. It will be a parade of vehicles lit up, and that should really be nice. And that's all on December 3rd. Speaking of the holiday season, Winter Wonderland in Van Zorn Park. The decorating, that's done usually sponsored by the Public Events Committee, and we get a tree, and then there's a contest, which municipality has the nicest tree, and then there's a special day for that. And my final announcement of the day is, just so everybody knows, I have hired an attorney to do a recount. I will be paying for it personally out of my own funds. There will not be any cost to any taxpayer. And the reason why I'm doing the recount is because I have learned by so many people that they're concerned that their vote by mail was not counted. The transparency just wasn't there. There was a failure of one of the printing in one of the districts at the senior center. For almost 2 hours, the machines weren't printing paper, they were out of paper. And so for those reasons, I have an election law attorney who we will be filing it tomorrow. So you don't have to keep running into my office every day and say, did my vote count, did my vote count? We're going to find out, and that's the reason why I'm doing the recount. I am not doing it, for all I know, I could lose by even more votes, or I could gain votes, or they could find everything was fine. But I want to assure every resident in our municipality that if you're going to go vote, your vote counts. And it's important to know this because next year is a very important election, and that's for the President of the United States. So I am doing this not for personal gain. As people know, I am wrapped up in my own home life right now with problems. But I just want everybody to know that when you go to vote, I mean, we are so lucky to live in this country where you have the right to vote. And if you decide to stay home, you decide to stay home. We can't force you to vote. But if you want to vote, you have the right to vote and know that your vote counts. And that's why I'm doing the recount. So you will hear more about it. And with that, I will entertain a motion to open to the public.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion closed.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have minutes to approve. Actually, I'm going to move right along because they're predicting possible snow tonight. So we'll just keep this moving along. That would be nice.
How are you doing the engineer's report?
Oh, I forgot, and I kept talking about the engineer. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Councilman Pignatelli.
You're welcome.
You're on.
Good evening. As Mayor, as you reported earlier, we received bids today on the Patriots Way Bridge superstructure replacement. The bids ranged from a low of under $5 million to a high in excess of $9.4 million. Our estimate was about $8 million. So there were a number of bids received that gave us a nice scattering of bids in the mid fives to mid sixes, so the bids came in very, very well. As you probably know, the borough has received $8.85 million in grants to offset the cost of this project. So as you reported earlier, assuming there aren't any major changes, it looks like you'll be, I'm sorry to say, sending money back, but I'm pleased to say it'll be 100% fully funded project from the various grant entities that funded this project.
Excuse me. I thought in the beginning, we thought that there was pre-work that needed to be done that wouldn't be funded through a grant? Can't we use the money for that?
We might.
Okay.
We might. We will look at the opportunity of doing some additional work. Of course, you're going to have some potential change orders that you have to account for, but obviously, this is a it's an excellent situation that the borough finds itself in.
So you get to, we get to choose between 3 bidders? Is that it?
No. We have to choose the lowest responsible bidder. We are currently.
I'm thinking of police promotions.
Yeah, we're currently evaluating the bids, and we'll be reporting back to the borough attorney, I would say within the next 48 hours on what our recommendation is, and we'll forward, of course, the bids to his attention, and he can check all those documents as well. So we would concur that the goal here is to get this teed up to be able to award the project at the next meeting of the mayor and council. So we're right on schedule. We're doing well.
And so how does that, I mean, let's just say we awarded it next council meeting, would they be starting, like what would the
Yeah.
time?
That's an excellent question. I did do a project summary. Actually, part of the deliverables that were necessary to procure the grant monies resulted in a request of what is called a spending plan. And the spending plan tracks a number of different things. Number one, it tracks obviously how much money the borough needs to spend by month on all costs. The second thing that happens is the duration of the job, and the third thing that happens is what happens during the tenure of the project. And this project, as you can imagine, is going to involve a flurry of submittals in the first part of the job to order the superstructure. So there'll be 30 to 60 days of exchanges of shop drawings in order to buy the bridge. And you'll see some initial work done, but the real work has to happen in the form of, we have to get the shop drawings done to buy the bridge, and the bridge is going to be a good 6-month process of getting the bridge fabricated and shipped to the site. The other thing that happens here is that there are actually, the utilities are complicated. There's water, there's gas, there's fiber, electric, all running under that bridge. So there are different stages of construction where we actually have to build temporary support systems to support the utilities while you build the bridge. So if the utilities weren't in the way, this would be a very easy project. So the temporary support of the utilities becomes, I believe it's either 4 or 6 separate phases. So you will see a lot of activity, but the activity is really going to be related to the temporary support and the phasing of how the utilities are supported throughout each phase as you build the superstructure. So it's kind of a run-on answer to, the bridge itself is a drop-in place, 3-span, 265-foot long structure. However, everything that's under it and alongside of it makes it very complicated to remove the old bridge, which is supporting these same utilities, and build a new bridge around. So for that reason, we would love to see it go quicker. That's why we really want to make sure we have a competent contractor who can it's a complex job. We've got some very good bidders in the mix, and it's.
Is the fact that it's winter slowing it down
No.
at all? No?
No,
Just because you ordered it?
No, because you're ordering it
Yeah.
6 months out.
So,
What would happen here is you award it in December, And then the bridge shows up probably in May or June, but you'll still be prepping everything. You're doing demo, and you're doing the temporary supports of the utilities. So, it's, you know, that's what you'll see. We could give you a full project schedule. One of the first things we're gonna ask the contractor for is a project schedule, so of course we'll share that as soon as we receive it. We have our version of what it is, but there's something called means and methods in public contracting law, where we show the contractor what we believe is a realistic way of building it, and we encourage the contractor who did 4 and 17, that was a 32-month process. It took 13 months. He got a $2 million incentive to finish early. And, you know, that's a perfect example of the project is laid out a certain way, and
Could we use that extra money for the same thing for a bonus?
that would be subject to the funding entity, and actually, it's the same funding entity that gave out the $2 million on 4 and 17, but
The question I have for you, I don't even know how to say this. In the specs for the construction and the material that we're gonna be using, what are we doing to prevent happening to this superstructure that happened to the one we have now?
it's a different material. It's not, the material that was used on the other, on the current bridge is it's called a weathering steel. It's a Corten steel. It's a steel that isn't painted. This
That's the
steel-
most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, that
Well-
as it rusts, it gets stronger. Yeah, right.
Well, there are certain bridges that you drive down the turnpike, you see them all over. And the difference is it's a dry environment, and when it's constantly wet, what happens is it's a breakdown.
So we took that into consideration, and the specs are gonna
Oh,
make
it's a
sure.
different bridge. It's a
Okay.
completely different bridge.
All right.
And I might add, the Glen Gray Bridge was the same bridge initially, the one that collapsed, and that's a different bridge.
Okay.
So,
All right, thank you.
Quick question, just the back of the envelope, and I probably don't have an exact answer, but when do you think it's gonna start impacting physically closing that bridge to begin construction? 6 months, a year, 2 years?
I'd say that, again, it's a contractor's yard
Okay,
for the entire 20, I think the construction period is 270, I'm sorry, I can't, it's about a 20-month construction period.
Okay.
I don't want to quote it
No,
off
that's
the top of my head. Technically, it's a contractor's yard for that period, but in the beginning, that we don't believe that it's necessary to close the bridge while they're doing submittals and they're buying the bridge.
okay.
So there's a cost to the contractor to bring in a temporary trailer and bring in the overhead of operating a yard. So it's in the contractor's interest, frankly, to do as much as he can before he starts buying the insurance for everything that's on the site. So that'll all be part of the process. That's gonna come out in the construction schedule contractor gives us, and we can report back to the mayor and council.
And what's the weight limit on the bridge currently?
3 tons,
Still 3?
yes. We are working with the DOT to see if that will change. John Yakimic is coordinating that with the structural engineer retained by the DOT.
Okay.
So we did those priority repairs, those are done, we're waiting for another re-rating of the bridge.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item is the PFAs. I believe it was about March, I reported that we hope to have these units operational by the end of February. We signed the ACO that we put in at the end of March because you don't want to go over on an ACO, that's not advised. You did everything right. You basically separately contracted to purchase the units. It resulted in them going ahead and getting here on time. Then you went and bid the install. Again, both bids came in either under or at budget. Now, the mayor was correct, you've got all 3 units dropped into place at the 3 locations. Then you'll see the piping go in, then you'll see the heat tape, the insulation, all of the mechanics that go into it. But you're right on schedule to finish by the end of February. Assuming nothing happens that's major, I think we're going to have an operational system during February. The thing that is on back order, and it's on back order in every job, is the generator. The generator will not stop you from meeting the requirements of your ACO. So once you're operational, you've tested, you've met the water standards, you're back in compliance as far as the DEP is concerned, in terms of meeting the current standards. And I might add that since you're under an ACO right now and you're within the requirements of that ACO, you're in compliance right now as you operate.
Kevin, could you just tell the audience, not everybody knows what an ACO is?
Administrative consent order.
Thank you.
What happened is that the DEP, you know the story about how they created these more stringent standards, and then they went ahead and when they had this running annual average, and you went over these new standards on the over 4 quarters, they went ahead and they started to contact. First they sent out a notice that said you have to have a public notice to all your customers, and you have to get you have to enact a corrective action response back to this situation. So the borough did all of that, and then they realized that not everybody was doing what you did, so they went ahead and, as a blanket operation, they sent out administrative consent orders to every single water owner in this situation. So it was one of those things where I contacted the administrator. I said, have you gotten the ACO yet? And he said, no, you will. He did, and you executed it. There was no fine involved, and you just basically had to commit to do what was necessary: design the system, permit the system, bid the system, fund the system, and get it done. So you've done all of that. You've executed all of the requirements to date that are stipulated in the ACO, and you're on track to meet the standards to protect public health.
Thank you.
Good. Just a question on that. Are we going to be required to send out another letter about the water quality again between now and February?
We are, another one, on a quarterly test, you probably will.
So if we do that, is there any value to having a letter that goes along with it, talking about where we are, and that's going to be completed in February as a follow-up?
You can. I actually just went through this on another town that brought their system online, and they had the same question. They said, we've done all of this stuff, and we should be, first of all, letting people know where we are, and then when you're back online and everything's operating and you're getting these no detects, you should be notifying everyone that you're in a non-mandatory type of notification that this is all good news. You can certainly do that, and I'll work with you we will work with you to get the wording down on certain mandatory language, and obviously, since this project is going exactly the way it's supposed to go, then I'm sure you could put that further notification to your customers in with that mailing.
Thank you.
Anything else?
I was asked to just report on the Allerman Brook, on the timing of the submittal to DEP. That timing will be by the end of December, the full DEP application. And And that's it unless there are any questions on any other project that we're working on.
Well, thank you. All right, minutes, November 8th. There a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Kamala?
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli?
Yes.
Saliani?
Yes.
Slasinski?
Yes.
Talamini?
Yes.
We have minutes from the executive session of November 8th. If there's going to be any discussion, it must be done in executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Will there be any discussion? If not, roll call.
Councilman Kamala?
Yes.
Pignatelli?
Yes.
Saliani?
Yes.
Slasinski?
Yes.
Talamini?
Yes.
We have a raffle license for the Hawthorne Club's football for December 2nd, raffle license 1470, to be at Portobello's. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We have a social affairs license application for the BPOE Elks Lodge 2167.
This is the social affair.
This is the social
That's
affair
the
of this. 2167.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Well,
it's the
the
same
Texas
thing.
Hold'em.
One's a-
Right,
one's the
Texas
social
Hold'em.
affair and one's a raffle.
Okay, so we'll do the social affairs first.
Yes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And now we have the raffle license. Same date, same place, same time.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolutions. 23-2327 is authorized consent of the treatment works application for the Leonard B. Grill, and it has to do with their septic. That is 327. 23-328 is to authorize refund of recreation fees. 328.
329.
Oh, we missed one again. Yes. Oh, that's the one you slipped in, right? Sorry.
Yep.
There were a lot of changes. 328 is award contract to Boswell Engineering for construction inspection services for drainage improvements at Oneida and Monhegan Avenues, not to exceed $17,200. Our CFO has certified that funds are available. Now, 23-329 is authorized refund of recreation fees. Michael Best, for basketball fees, $90, and Kelly Falcon for wrestling fees of $158. 23-330, authorized submittal of the NJARPA firefighter grant, $17,150, and 23-331 is to authorize the transfer between budget appropriations, finance, administration, full-time, from 3,000 to defined contribution plan in the amount of 3,000. And 23-332, award contract to Boswell Engineering for construction management services for water main improvements on Lakeside Boulevard. Proposals submitted November 20th, 2023, not to exceed $61,500. Our CFO has certified that funds are available. Did I get that all now?
Yep.
There were so many
You
changes.
got them all.
Is there anybody who wishes to pull out any?
3:30?
330
327 also?
and 327. Okay, for 328, 329, 331, 332, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Kamala?
Yes.
Pignatelli?
Yes.
Saliani?
Yes.
Slasinski?
Yes.
Talamini?
Yes.
All right, 327.
I just have a question about what happened that they need the exemption.
Two reasons. One, their flow is over 2,000 gallons a day. Any system where it's over 2,000 gallons a day requires a treatment works approval that can't be approved locally. And also, I think that they're proposing an alternative treatment system that doesn't fully meet the septic code as well.
So the Board of Health?
Board of Health looked at it, realized that it needed a TWA, and they have no objections to, council's approval of endorsing the application to the DEP.
All right, that was it, thank you.
All right, 3:30.
No, I just can't vote on being a member of the
All right,
fire
for a
department.
motion to, so we have to vote on 327.
327
Yep.
first.
Right, a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Kamala?
Yes.
Pignatelli?
Yes.
Saliani?
Yes.
Slasinski?
Yes.
Talamini?
Yes.
All right, 3:30 is the firefighter grants. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Kamala?
Abstain.
Councilman Pignatelli?
Yes.
Councilman Saliani?
Yes.
Slasinski?
Yes.
Talamini?
Yes.
Okay, adoption of 23 Code 932, an ordinance amending Chapter 9, Section 1.2 of the Oakland Code related to venomous snakes. Is there a motion to open to the public?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Does anyone wish to speak on this ordinance?
Motion to close?
I guess not.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Kamala?
Yes.
Pignatelli?
Yes.
Saliani?
Yes.
Slasinski?
Yes.
Talamini?
Yes.
Adoption of 23 Capital 933. It's a capital ordinance of the Borough of Oakland and the County of Bergen, New Jersey, authorizing the making of various public improvements and acquisitions in, by, and for the borough, appropriating therefore the sum of $1,325,000 and providing that such sum so appropriated shall be raised from the general capital fund balance. Is there a motion to open to the public?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wish to speak on this? Anybody understand it? The motion to close to the public.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Councilman
Yeah.
Kamala?
Yes.
Pignatelli?
Yes.
Saliani?
Yes.
Slasinski?
Yes.
Talamini?
Yes.
Work session items. Mr. Kuntz.
Thank you, Mayor. First item this evening
Which ones do
is
you
our
need that back?
current agreement to be a member of the BMED, that's the Bergen Municipal Employee Benefits Fund, for the provision of health insurance benefits for employees and eligible retirees. Expires at the end of this year. That's on a 3-year cycle, and every 3 years when this occurs, we go out to the market and price it out to see if BMED remains basically who we want to stay with for the provision of those benefits. So our health benefits risk manager undertook that analysis, went out to the marketplace, solicited proposals from a number of large insurers for fully insured programs. For one reason or another, they declined to quote. A couple of them cited just that they could not be competitive with our current pricing. Another one said that they thought our retiree population was too high as an overall percentage of the covered pool. So there was, basically nothing to check there, other than the fact that the private sector, the private insurers didn't feel that they could be competitive. We also benchmarked against the state health benefits plan, which covers a lot of towns. And when we looked at that and we fully looked at plan design and also the dividends that we get back as being a member of the fund, we're about 9% less in terms of assessment than if we were in the state health benefits plan. Right now, the BMED offers a lot of price stability from year to year. Its fund position is very strong, especially compared to the state health benefits fund right now, which, as you may recall, a lot of there's a lot of news last year when the state health benefits had over 20% rate increase. So our strong recommendation is that we renew with BMED for another 3 years. Any questions on that?
So, were we ever, we were a part of the state health benefits, a long time ago, or we've always been?
We were self-insured
That's what it was.
for a very long time.
Yeah.
And then in 2012, we moved over to the BMED, which is a group self-insurance model.
Right.
It's called the Health Insurance Fund, kind of a health benefits counterpart, health insurance counterpart to the Joint Insurance Fund that we use for workers' comp and property and casualty.
And then, and just every 3 years we go through this and we just do our due diligence and we.
Exactly.
All right.
All right, amend salary ordinance.
Okay. So this year, we've taken a number of personnel actions. that require us to sort of now clean up the salary ordinance to make sure that it complies and reflects the actions that you've taken. Those include adjusting the CFO's compensation, which we did when we entered into the shared service arrangement with Hillsdale to provide them with CFO services, promotion of the finance account clerk, providing the green team with a secretary, utilizing former retirees like we're doing right now with Ms. Duncan, and adding the job title of SLEO 3 when we launched that program in conjunction with the schools. So all of those things needed to be reflected in the salary ordinance to make sure that the salary ordinance reflects that current practice and legitimizes everything. So that's what the amendment does. I provided a marked up version, so if you have any questions about that, please let me know.
Okay, then no questions. So the next thing is amend water rates.
Okay, so as we do every year, we try to prioritize looking at our water and sewer utility budgets early on in the budget process. This year, and last year too, a little bit of uncertainty because of PFAS and the impact on the budget. This current year, we built in about $100,000 worth of potential operating costs into that. And next year, unfortunately, we have to start paying debt service on the debt that we incurred to do the PFAS treatment project that's ongoing right now. So unfortunately, with that added in, that's almost $110,000. So that's going to result in a need for over $200,000 when you take a look at the revenue side. And that's about a 10% rate increase for next year, unfortunately. And that's about $48 or so on the average residential account, so about $12.
What about on commercial?
I don't think we worked that up for commercial yet.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so that's what we're looking at. As we engage in this process because we need to do the rate ordinance so that it's effective at the beginning of the year. So we would prepare an ordinance and have that ready for introduction at the next meeting, all right? I do want to point out and just remind everybody and remind the public that we are members of the class for these class action lawsuits going on with 3M and DuPont, where those settlement costs nationwide are going to be in the billions of dollars. We stand to potentially obtain a good amount of money from that. We don't know exactly. We have been providing information to our attorneys that'll be used in the formula that's in the proposed settlement that'll determine that amount. But that's not expected, that money is actually not expected to come online until 2025. So, we're hopeful that that'll have a beneficial impact on the 2025 budget, but it doesn't look at this point like it's going to provide any help for the 2024.
So water is going up next year?
Yes.
It's $48 for the year.
On the average
Average.
account.
On the average per household.
On
What's
the
the
average
average?
house, okay?
What's the average house now?
And we looked at sewer as well. For 2024, we do not see any need to increase the sewer rates. They can remain the same.
What are you classifying now as the average house in Oakland?
Do you have that average?
When you said $48 on the average house?
So all that is taking the average, the total rents of all of the residential users and dividing by the number of users.
But you were
Literally
saying, but the average taxpayer or the average water user is going to increase, the average, but you're not dealing with, so you're dealing on, you take an average of all the water use?
All the residential water use.
Excess cost divided by users residential.
I know how to do average. Remember, I studied math in college. Thank you. Okay. Regulate private salt storage, stormwater management permit requirements.
Okay.
Privately owned salt storage.
Yes, so, we've talked about this off and on a little bit. We have an extensive stormwater management program in the borough. That is mandated by the state under a permit for stormwater management called the MS4 permit. That's basically the DEP enforcing federal regulations. And on a 5-year cycle, they update those regulations. And one of the updates for the current round, which started at the beginning of this year, kind of 2 ordinances that we're going to need to adopt. One which we can do next year. This one we actually could as well, but we were kind of ready to get it in front of you. Is all municipalities in the state of New Jersey, on basically behalf of the state in implementing these stormwater management regulations, is going to be required to regulate the storage of salt and de-icing products on private property, right? We already have our own regulations that pertain to our salt dome and the application and use of salt. Now they're extending that to landscaper yards, parking lots where people may store large quantities of salt to use throughout the winter and whatnot. Basically, the idea is they want to limit the amount of salt runoff that's been occurring, okay? So this requires a impervious surface, and it requires a barrier and a cover on all such facilities, so you don't get all of this concentrated salt runoff.
You know, last year there was quite a pile behind Walgreens.
Right, that would not be allowed to occur under this.
So who
All right.
enforces
So we'll have
that?
to let them
Yeah,
know.
So-
yeah, how do we govern this? Is there an ordinance against it? or-
Well, you need to adopt an ordinance. What I put in the packet was the DEP's model ordinance, all right, that has penalty provisions. Somebody would, we'll talk about that between now and the next meeting, internally about who's going to handle that enforcement. Somebody would have to go out on a complaint, or if they see something, and there would be a violation system put in place if we see somebody that isn't complying with the regulation.
So we cover it when we're not using it, but put it on the road, it's okay?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure we're all clear on that.
There are certain things there in the regs where we can't even wash our vehicles outside, and we're only allowed to knock the salt. It's rather extensive in this area, that's all I can say.
So, like if I bought 6 bags of ice, salt, and put them in my backyard, am I, are we required to monitor that? Are we,
No, as long as it's stored in a secure container.
It's
That's
come
the
in a
language
plastic bag.
in the draft.
So
The model.
who's the genius that came up with this?
This was the DEP.
DEP. Our buddies in traffic.
But it is a requirement of our permit, and of every municipality's permit.
Is it gonna cost us anything?
Directly, no, probably some indirect costs for any level of investigation and enforcement that would be required. We're not gonna need to add staff or anything for this, but, we'll have to spend some time in investigating any complaints we receive.
So is this considered an unfunded mandate at this point?
It did not come out of legislation, it came out of the regulatory end,
Okay.
so probably not.
Whenever it's an expansion of an existing law, it's not exempt. It
Okay,
has to be a
So-
brand new law.
all right, draft
Yes.
2024 council meetings next year.
This is, the salt storage is just, I think, one notch below, the snake ordinance that we just did. But be that as it may. Yes.
This one has one.
Okay, mayor and council meeting schedule. So at the first meeting in January, at the oath of office meeting, you'll actually adopt the resolution setting your schedule. We asked for a discussion of it now because we're going to be sending the 2024 calendar to the printers in early December. We just need some certainty there in terms of what the schedule is going to be so we can have the dates on the calendar. So we prepared a couple of draft schedules for you. A couple people had mentioned that you wanted to take a look at Tuesdays, so we have a Wednesday schedule. We have a Tuesday schedule as well, and we can talk about what you want that to be, just so we have some feedback on how to prepare the calendar draft.
I'd like to go with the Tuesday schedule. Obviously, there's a couple changes that have to be made in July and August, so if we can change it from a Tuesday to a Wednesday for July and August. July 17th and August 8th, I believe is 14th.
And I think it also affords the administrative staff some extra time if we do change it to a Tuesday in preparing the agenda and everything that goes in it.
How does that give them more time on a
It's
Tuesday
the
for a
opposite.
Wednesday?
It's the opposite. They have
It gives us more time
A
following.
Wednesday
on-
rather than
on
Tuesday?
meetings.
No, following the meeting.
No, no,
It
the opposite.
actually
Oh,
it
the
actually helps
admin.
administratively.
No, because then they have 3 days after the meeting.
Oh,
Take care of
oh, I
it.
see what you're saying, got it. It also
then-
accommodates someone who can't come on Wednesdays.
Oh, what was it?
Yeah, yeah.
Change there too, right?
All right,
That was
so-
Betty asked.
And then there was also, we were talking about the Jewish holidays. Are we good with the Jewish
Right,
holidays?
so just to recap then, generally it'll be, and I'll go through the changes then. So generally, we're talking second and fourth Tuesdays. Oath of office meeting Saturday the 6th. Is that correct?
Yep.
Right?
I thought it said,
Saturday,
That's the
doing
feedback that I got.
Saturday?
That's the feedback that I got. April, to avoid Passover, we would do second and fifth, so it would be the 30th.
Just remember on the Jewish holidays, it starts the night before, sundown, the night before.
Right. This avoids by the whole week.
We don't have to avoid it, it's just the first 2 days that are the most important. Seder's.
Then one meeting a month in July, one in August, with those being on Wednesdays. So it would be July 17th and August 14th. Then we get to December where it would just be Monday, the 23rd, so that we're not meeting on Christmas Eve. And I think that would be it. Is everybody's good with that?
mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Any new business? Old business?
Mayor, can we just have our borough attorney give us an update on what's going on legally with the recycling center? And just an update?
Sure, so as the mayor mentioned, the comment period is still open.
To the end of December?
Yes. Well, we
Well,
will,
December, you want to get it in before.
yes, so while we obviously will not discuss specific legal strategy, we determined that it is in the best action of the borough to wait and see what happens and possibly institute a legal action if it is looked favorably upon rather than preventative action at this point. So that was the determination for reasons that we will not go into in public session. But we are closely monitoring what happens at the end of the 60-day period, and then we'll be reevaluating from there.
Thank you.
Any other business? Council committee? Councilman, you're on for holiday.
Okay.
It's coming.
Yes, so we'll do public events. First of all, thank you to the public events. As always, they do a great job in everything they do. We always need volunteers, so please sign up if you can, and if you don't, just come and help. We'll take the help. So Sunday, December 3rd at 5 o'clock is the Christmas tree and menorah lighting. There will be, I'm told, Santa will be there. That's always exciting. There'll be we'll have some singing, we'll do some caroling. We're going to be honoring the football team and cheerleaders. And I understand Councilman Pinatelli will be the master of ceremonies.
Yes, sir.
There will be the light parade with the cars. We're pretty excited about that. Again, that's Danny D'Elia, all his hard work. And just, they're all doing a great job, and that should be a lot of fun. Also on December 9th is Toys for Tots. That's always a great event too. And then the schools, tomorrow there's a minimum day, so just pay attention, make sure you know there'll be more kids running around than usual. And then schools are closed from the 23rd to the 24th for Thanksgiving. On the 30th of November at 6:45 at VMS, there's going to be an internet safety awareness seminar. That should be really good, especially if you have younger kids. You go there, they can teach you about internet safety. Finance, I don't think we have, we've met, we're good for now, right? We'll schedule something after the new year, I guess, and then we'll go from there. And then I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone, and just really take the time to be thankful. And I just want to say I'm really thankful for all the employees in town, all the volunteers in town, everyone up here. It's it's important to get involved in town, and it makes, all the volunteers especially, make the town a great place. And so I just want to say I'm truly thankful for all of them, and hope everyone enjoys their Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman?
Thank you, Mayor. Speaking of volunteers, I'm happy to announce that Oakland once again has gotten their silver award for the green team. I had the privilege of attending the luncheon down in Atlantic City with Andrea Levy and Ali Fleeson, and the team really worked their butt off, and they got the silver award. It's interesting to see Oakland's really in, like, there's only a small amount of towns that really have, reached the silver award, and Oakland should be proud. It certainly opens up opportunities for other grant opportunities, everything for Oakland. And they also received the second award for all the work that Andrew was doing with the Arts Amble and all the concerts in the park. So the green team, and between Ali and Andrea, they did a wonderful job. And with that, I just want to wish a happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and we'll see you next meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. From the Police Department. Police Department has been requested to do some speed studies on streets. These detailed reports will be used by the Traffic Bureau to both proactively locate speeding problems as well as to respond to speeding complaints received from the community. Typically, one study will be performed every month using the mobile speed tracker, and the results will be shared in this monthly report. Also, data from the various stationary speed signs may be shared as well. See below for the speed reports.
See below. Did you read below?
I'm getting there.
Oh, all right.
I've learned to turn it now, so that I have the full report. Since the borough has been receiving speeding complaints on this is the report. This is the.
Oh, no.
Since the borough has been receiving speeding complaints on Ramapo River Trace, the speed tracker was placed on the roadway in September. A report was provided last month and showed an average speed of 23 miles per hour and no significant speeding issues. The speed tracker was kept on the roadway, the same location for October. Attached are results of study from October 31st. During this time frame, 5,163 vehicles were detected. The average speed of those vehicles, again, was 23 miles an hour. Again, based on results of the study, it's clear that there is not a speeding problem on Ramapo River Trace. In fact, the roadway clocks some of the slowest speeds and the lowest volumes when compared to other streets that have been surveyed in the past. Most of the traffic was traveling between 15 miles an hour and 29 miles an hour. See the attached results, which I'll again.
He has to go look for the attachment.
Also, there's a bar graph that shows the speed, which I can't show you. Police recruits. Hank Anderson and Kyle Delahanty began attending the police academy on July 14th. Both recruits are performing well and thus far have passed all training milestones. The graduation from the academy is scheduled for December. Maybe even Santa Claus will give them their certificate. Officers, community events, officers attended the Rotary Car Show. On 4th and 16th, Officer Albert provided a tour of Oakland Police Headquarters to students of the CTC Academy. On 15th, officers spoke to the Oakland Cub Scouts at Den meeting about their job and responsibilities. The 17th, the SLE03 and I attended the Oakland Board of Education meeting where we were presented with certificates for a successful rollout of the SLE03 program and start of school. 26 officers attended the IHHS Share the Keys event and spoke to students about safe driving and motor vehicle law. On the 30th, Mischief Night, successful in that there was only one mischief-related call for service. Very good. Congratulations, Oakland. Halloween, no problems were reported, and all trick-or-treaters had a successful evening. Officers supervised the college section and ensured a safe evening for all. As for patrol for the month, officers conducted 250 motor vehicle stops and issued 349 motor vehicle summonses. Also, officers made 3 arrests for driving while intoxicated and 2 narcotic arrests. I just want to echo what Councilman Talamini said. The backbone of the community is the volunteers. I've been I've worked in several municipalities, and by far, Oakland has so many volunteers that we really do need to be thankful to. You know, we can't be at every event of our children. You know, thankfully, we have supervision from adults in the recreation program. All the boards and councils, the green team. I was privileged to be a part of the green team 1 year, and they really do a lot of work. There's a lot of paperwork, a lot of records to be made. So, you know, they really pour their hearts and minds into it, and no wonder they're a success. And they also somehow relate with the Environmental Commission too when they're called upon. So thank you to all of them, and God bless everybody here in Oakland. And we are so thankful that we live in America. There's so much trouble overseas that, you know, we have to be thankful that, God bless, we don't have that problem here. So thank you, everyone.
Thank
That's
you.
it, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman?
Thank you, Mayor. Just a very brief update tonight from the library. The library is closed for Thanksgiving and Friday, but will reopen on the weekend. The regular scheduled children's programs and story times continue, including all of the new Zamboni time with Miss Tina on December 1st at 11 a.m. Registration is required. On December 4th at 10 a.m., they will have favorite foreign films at 10 a.m., no registration required. Also during December, they will have Tech Tuesdays appointments for residents who need help with technology issues. Check with the website and calendar for more details and appointment times. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. And that's all I
just
have.
want to add something at the library. I officiated 2 weddings at the library last weekend. And when I went into the library, these young students, young, playing chess in the beam room. And it really impressed me that these young people were sitting in the library playing chess.
To challenge them to a game?
No, I was getting ready to officiate the wedding. I had to get my stuff ready. Thank you for your report. Councilman?
Real quick from the DPW, just a reminder, we're supposed to have 1 to 2 inches of rain tonight and tomorrow.
Possibly snow, wet snow.
Please don't say that.
Possibly, I said possibly.
DPW is asking residents to remove any leaves from the tops or around storm drains that may be located roadside around their property. Clogged storm drains, localized flooding, hazardous conditions for motorists and pedestrians. So if you can unclog your drains, that would be great. And let's hopefully there's not snow on top of
Wet,
that.
they said maybe wet snow, that's it. Just drive carefully.
Shade Tree Commission update, there was 44 trees planted in town over the last month. These trees were planted based on fees that were accumulated from 2021 and some of our other projects. If residents would like to be part of the Adopt a Tree program, they should sign up to see if they qualify. They can contact the Shade Tree Committee at shadetree@oakland-nj.org or contact DPW to sign up on the list to get Adopt a Tree program. Flood Commission, the Flood Commission submitted, we had a meeting and they're revisiting the Rampo River project. So they've been working with a couple of engineers and getting some ideas. They've submitted something for the council, to the borough administrator. We'll be sharing with the council soon, so we want to go back to look at the Rampo River restoration project, so there'll be more to that to come. Also, the Flood Commission has put together a letter to take their stance against the recycling center,
Yes.
the Class B recycling center. The opposition, basically everything we've talked about here, between the quality of life issues, the traffic issues, the negative impact, and the environmental issues it will bring to our town. The commission is also encouraging everyone to submit their letters as soon as possible in support of stopping the recycling center. And then I'm also going to give a quick update, Access for All, as Councilman McCann is not here. I just want to remind everyone on Sunday, December 17th, Access for All invites you to meet Santa in the fire truck. There'll be limited lights and limited sounds. This event will be held at the Danny Delia building between 2 and 4. Rumor has it that Santa himself will be there around 2:30 p.m. There will be light refreshments served during this event. So it's a great event.
Thank you.
It's a great event.
Hey, Steve, can you just give a quick recap on the Super Bowl? That was an exciting game. The Pee Wee Super Bowl football game?
Oh, yes, that's right, so, I thought the mayor addressed it in the beginning as well. So the the Super Bowl for the 5th and 6th grade team,
Juniors.
the juniors, they won, they beat Ridgewood, I believe it was 18-0. And great job by Coach Donahue and his team to get that through. So as the mayor said, we'll be honoring them at the event on December 3rd.
And the
But-
cheerleaders.
Oh, and the cheerleaders, don't want to forget that, because I think my daughter coached those cheerleaders. And the good thing about that was, from an Oakland perspective, there was a bunch of community members there from all ages, and I thought that was great to see. There was probably maybe 250 to 350 people just on the Oakland side supporting, who weren't family members, who were above and beyond their kids playing. So I think that it was a great event, and congratulations to those kids.
Right, thank you. And with that, motion to open to the public.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to close.
Oh,
we go. Sorry.
Sorry.
I was looking that way.
Jody Goffredo, 44 Sioux Avenue. Last night, I attended the open meeting at Bergen County Utilities Authority. I spoke up, I just said, if they could pay attention to the petition. It has thousands of signatures on it, that would be great. The next meeting that they're holding is on Tuesday, December 19th at 6 p.m. I'd really love to see, if maybe the town of Oakland can post it on the website, in addition to signing the petition, hey, go speak up.
When is it again?
Tuesday, December 19th at 6 p.m. I think it's really important that we get a large showing and a large public comment over there, because they're the ones who are approving this. And, maybe we
From there, then it goes to the commissioners.
Right, and then maybe we can get the Green Team and the Environmental Commission, the Flood Commission, all over there. It's really important to have our voices heard. I love the petition, but let's get our voices heard. We
Thank
gotta
you.
stop this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any others? Now, motion to close.
So moved.
Are you getting up?
Yeah, just real quick. Kevin Gallo, 1 Pool Hollow Road, Oakland. Excuse me.
Okay.
I just want to
Some water?
echo
It's
the
good,
same
the water's
statement.
good.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm no good at public speaking. I'd really hate that I even have to be here doing this, but again, I live right next to the proposed recycling center. Very, very concerned about it. I don't think I can say anything you guys don't already know about it, but I work from home. I've been there 7 years now, and I grew up my whole life in Oakland. I'm very familiar with that industrial park, the trails, the woods around it. And obviously, I think it's just a really horrible idea. I think we're all in agreement there. I went down to the BCUA meeting yesterday brought the sign. Thank you, Mayor, for printing those out. I have one up on the yard. Brought that down there, gave a statement. I'm just trying to do anything I can to voice how deeply, deeply concerned I am about.
And you know what's helping us? The species, the photos of species.
Yeah, with that makes it just, I guess, forward anything over. We have,
I gave the photos, and we've been forwarding
we have
them.
everything. We have a bear with a couple cubs. We got foxes,
Especially the water species that are there.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what helping, like the turtles.
Yeah, because I'm right on the pond there.
Yes.
There's snapping turtle, there's, ducks, there's
That'll be very helpful.
many generations of painter turtles. Yeah, I got tons of pictures.
Good,
I'll send
excellent.
over, try to get some good stuff sent over. But yeah, I just wanted to come and just, trying to do anything that I can to.
We're all with you.
Yep, 100%.
Cool.
Thank
Thank
you.
you guys. Appreciate it.
So before I say motion to close, anybody else? No. Motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Bills to be paid.
Bills to be paid, $1,029,615.65. So moved.
Second.
If you read the bills list, you can vote. Roll call.
Councilman Kamala?
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli?
Yes.
Councilman Saliani?
Yes.
Councilman Slisinski?
Yes.
Councilman Talamini?
Yes.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Our next meeting will be right here in council chambers, December 6th at 7 p.m.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's all I wanted to do. Dave, thank you for coming.